All right, my fellow agents, it is I, X7, the premier amateur paleontologist of Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Coincidentally enough, I'm also the host. Today is Wednesday. That means we're going to be reviewing a book. Well, we're going to actually be reviewing two books. This one here from friends of the show. I'd like to think they're friends of the show. I've interacted with them a couple of times on their Discord. But I've been listening to their podcast for so long. It seems like I know them. It's strange how that works. But this is a book by them. But first, we're going to be reviewing a book allegedly by Dr. Seuss. And if you thought I was going to not use that picture, well, you don't know me. Anyway, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these books. They are geared toward a younger audience, especially the Dr. Seuss one, but leave a comment. And Garrett and Sabrina, thank you for writing such a wonderful book. I really appreciate I think it's great. And I'm not just saying that because we're, pseudo acquaintances. So, and also if you could, this shouldn't be too long a review, but watch for a couple minutes longer than normal. Having said all that, let's roll. Okie doke. This is the Dr. Seuss book, which was published in, I want to say, 1999. Now, obviously, Theodore Geisel has been gone for quite a while, and he did not write this. You can see that's who did write it. Here's the back. That would be, yes, actually it says Fun Nonfiction from Dr. Seuss, but it's by Bonnie Worth, illustrated by Steve Haffeli. Sorry, Steve, if I get that wrong. But it starts out very well. I mean, it's a fun little book, I think. It was given to me by my dear friend Sharon, or as Lilith and I refer to her on occasion as Shron, which is a lovely story. So we'll see this. And then the shirt here was from my brother and his sainted wife. So from down in Florida. And this is the book that Garrett and Sabrina have written. And it's glossy. It's really, the illustrations are gorgeous. Oh, I just happened to open it up to the king of the dinosaurs, the king tyrant lizard. But there's the back. I really like the way it's laid out, as we'll get into. Okay, ready for some more dinosaur action? Let's go. If you are wondering, that is my polydactyl princess, my Torty, Kaida Trillion. Kaida means little dragon. Trillion is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. She likes to help a lot and photobomb and video bomb just about anything. So yes, it's written out in rhyme, so to speak. And the Cat in the Hat was never one of my favorite of Seuss's characters because it's kind of a jerk. But they got thing 1 and thing 2 in here, and the illustrations are very whimsical, and they do a really good job approximating the original Dr. Seuss. But they just talk about there's Ankylosaurus, although if you see, this is 1999, so 26 years ago, they say Ankylosaurus, which is the way I learned it. But I like Ankylosaurus more, so I'm trying to change that. We all know how to say Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops horridus. You'll notice there's no feathers at all, even though by this time that was a thing. Deinonychus, the terrible claw, and the Cat and the Hatosaurus. I want to say this book doesn't run too many pages at all. 44, 45, 44. So we go through it quickly. And they tell you how to learn more stuff. But I would have been I don't know that. I love it because of who gave it to me, Sharon and Alex. And but overall, I don't know that it's fun. I mean, I'm glad to have it in my collection. I'll never get rid of it just due to that fact of who gave it to me. There's the back of it, and you can see how gauche that I left the price of it on there. But for dinosaurs, price is no object. If you got to ask, you can't afford it, right? All right, and we'll get right into. We're going to stop right here before we get into it, and I'm going to put a little trailer on there.
Rampaging in an unsuspecting world, living creatures from the dawn of time. What havoc will they wreak? What lives will they destroy? What depths of panic and terror will they create? Dinosaurus, the most amazing, astounding, astonishing adventure of them all, beyond anything your mind can imagine, never before seen on the screen.
All right, with these book reviews, sometimes it's hard not to want to show every page because there's just they're just really cool. The illustrations are great, the information's solid. I'm going to let my sainted mother read it, so I've kind of failed her as an amateur paleontologist. This book runs just a little over about 110, maybe 120 pages, 110. And it's published by National Geographic for kids. You can buy it on Amazon. Great price, and it's just really well done. I mean, the drawings are beautiful. The artistry is beautiful, and the prose is fun. I mean, they've such a good chemistry with each other and with the audience. Like I said, it's like we know them, and I appreciate that. And something I strive for in both my podcast and in GD Explanations with Lilith. So we start out with what a surprise, Sabrina, a Brachiosaurus. I decided we'd show a dinosaur that actually has lips from King Kong. That's the most deadly brontosaurus you'll ever see because it actually chomps on sailors and stomps on sailors. They should never have gone to Skull Island. Anyway, Spinosaurus shows up, illustrations by Franco Tempesta, and just like I said, it's good. I did not include all 110 pages just because it's too much, and I want you to buy the book. Support your local artists. I like the timeline here: Triassic, Middle, blah blah, and the dinosaur first, the Hadrosaur. Look at that tail dragger, and just really, I was taking these pictures. I took the pictures, so you don't like them, it's on me. The Megalosaurus and the Iguanodon were the first two. Now, I do love my dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, pterosaurs and the members of Sauropterygia, the plesiosaurs, the ichthyosaurs, and to some degree the mosasaurs, especially if they're magical, like Leopleurodons. But this is a book solely about dinosaurs. You do see pterosaurs in the background there, which is fun. But, I mean, and if you want to see more about the Crystal Palace down here and behind the scenes, there's the Megalosaurus. This book, which I got and will be reviewing at some point, is phenomenal. So I believe I either learned about this from I Know Dino or Terrible Lizards or both. I love both podcasts. There's our the dinosaur that can confound people and scientists, smart people, into thinking: is it a bird? Is it a reptile? Or birds are dinosaurs, but was it a full on avian dinosaur? So we have to go the obligatory Bone Wars, and then I like that. This is what I also like too: the first impressions, what we know now, where it was found. They do tell you how to pronounce it, at least the current pronunciations. And Othniel Charles Marsh found it there in Colorado. Here in Fossil Bed, this is the state fossil of Colorado. Triceratops, also found in Colorado, but it's the state dinosaur, not the state fossil, of Wyoming. Was bigger than a bison. Jiminy. So, yeah. I just there's Triceratops is probably my favorite um, ceratopsian. They show more pictures of them. Got the exploration now. Would this name be Minion Talbot? I do know who Roy Chapman Andrews is. We've talked about his book already. Um, the Podokesaurus. What a great name! And there is the king there, even with his three fingers, which he did, have a starring role in King Kong, 1933, the only King Kong movie worth watching, with just the star of the name of. Anyway, so and yes, a lot of the early ones, and clear into 1969 with the Valley of Gwangi, they gave Gwangi three fingers. Ray did that because Willis O'Brien wrote the screenplay or wrote the draft for it, so he's not really an Allosaurus. They're just not built that way. You can tell. We'll talk about the movies here in a bit. There he is. And I like the fact that they talk about his vision and how strong his little arms are. And Kylosaurus, Montana. Yep, Barnum Brown. There's a great book called, well, it's a Barnum Brown book. It's great. And I've just drawn a blank at the name. Something about hunting the bones, the monster's bones. Yes, highly recommend it. There's the crests from the various hadrosaurs. Parasaurolophus was not the only one. Lambeosaurus, and of course, you get to one who has it doesn't really a crest, but it's a weapon. And when we get here, you know what we have to see because it is a Packy.
But I can. Pachycephalosaurus charge! He moved.
And then we have our small, that says 6 feet. Well, that's length. That doesn't mean how tall they were. They were probably about 3 feet off the ground, so long. Yeah, I know they have feathers and all, but they have to make them look so dang goofy. Gol dang goofy, I'll tell you what. I bet you this guy's name is Bobby. So, Velociraptor, yes. There's the Velociraptor, not nearly as big as they were in Jurassic Park. We all know that now. There is Enosaurus, who showed up in the final Jurassic World movie. I can't believe they thought it was a turtle. Turtle! Doesn't even look like Gamera. But, yeah, probably a obligate, well, probably a vegetarian. Then we get the Renaissance. Let's see, paleo art and just all fun. Yeah, Robert Baker, whom I have met personally. What a nice man. We had a discussion about his views on the T-Rex arm and how strong they weren't. I told him I'd let him be wrong. It's a good thing he has a sense of humor. And now we get into the new blockbusters because, when you go with the original Lost World, King Kong, and up into Ray's 1 million years BC, even 1 million BC from the 40s, which is not really a dinosaur movie, but Ray's 1966, 1 million years BC, and Valley of Gwangi, which was not a blockbuster but should have been, but that's on Warner Brothers. Anyway, I digress. Megaraptor, which is not a raptor apparently. So, and they talk about dinosaur animation, and they, oddly, I believe Sabrina's one of her favorite movies is The Land Before Time, and its 6,000 sequels. It was not. I saw it when it came out. What does it say that? See, they put When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth in here instead of the much superior 1 million years BC, because there's one whole dinosaur in that movie, and the baby sauropod, it's not a sauropod, it's more of a Moschops, which, as we all are, Moschops, as we know, is not a dinosaur. It's it's one of the early proto mammals. Be that as it may, where is? Oh, right. What does that say? Land Before Time, 1988. Oh my gosh, it was that long. I was almost 40 years ago. How is that possible? But I've seen most of the. In fact, I've seen. And don't watch the whole Animal World because it's awful after you get through the stop motion animation by Ray Harryhausen and Willis O'Brien. The second time they worked together. The only time they did and the only time they worked in color. It's a great sequence. The rest of the movie's not good. Anyway, okay, I like this because he looks more furry than feathered, and he's covered in, and he's walking around in snow, which is pretty interesting, and just a cool name. And the unsolved mysteries of dinosaurs. So there's just there's still things that you just don't know about, and you're still learning and changing them. That's the back of the book, as we've seen already. And I did get this from Sabrina. Well, not from Sabrina, but I ordered it, and it's fun. I got several of them. Just gave them out as gifts. So I have bought from them before, and I don't know why this is in here, but there we go. We are done for this episode. Shouldn't be too long at all. And points to anybody who knows what this music is from. They don't assemble, but they are needed on occasion. Having said all that, and be that as it may, until our next assignment tomorrow, where we review 3 more episodes of The Young Ones from their first 3 of Series 2, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
Alive after 70 million years. Dinosaurs! Roaring, walking, destroying. Dinosaurus! The most amazing adventure since the beginning of time. Dinosaurus! For these people, there could only be shock and dismay. For who among them could believe that out of the primordial slime had come these creatures? The huge brontosaurus, the ferocious tyrannosaurus, even a primitive caveman. Panic-stricken, horrified, did they have the courage, the ingenuity to survive?
How do we get word out, Hacker? Mailboat will be in tomorrow morning. By tomorrow, we could all be dead.
We are going to be friends, you and me.
Sights never before seen on the screen. A 60-ton dinosaur tamed by a small boy and a caveman. A caveman loose in a modern home. The death duel of the dinosaurs. A girl caught by the dread Tyrannosaurus. The battle between giant monster and monster machine. The moat of fire.
It's holding him. Yeah, but for how long?